Hello, my name is Jay Town, creator of Any Good Thing. On behalf of the cast and crew, I would like to thank all of our listeners for supporting us this past year. We have made many friends and, surprisingly, a few enemies with our story. And with the airing of this episode marks a full year of production, with 8 episodes and 25 actors and actresses from across the Mohawk Valley, and with a solitary goal of telling a compelling story with a solid moral lesson. There have been many struggles and hardships for all of us in the cast this past year, but we soldier on. As for the future, one wise man said, "Always in motion is the future," and we won't tip our hand. So once again, thank you for listening, thank you for your interest, and may God bless you. This episode of Any Good Thing proudly underwritten by the folks at Bashwinger Insurance Agency in the St. Stanislaus Church School at 42 Cornell Street, Amsterdam, New York.
Hello, and welcome to Episode 8 of Any Good Thing, written by Jay Town. In our last episode, Charity's adopted mom passed away, leaving her to plan her mother's funeral with the help of her birth mother, Marisol. Derek finds out that Charity had been planning a possible career change and a move out of the area, and is upset for what that might mean for him. We see Charity sitting in a radio station in Brooklyn, where she will be interviewing this day.
Miss Rodriguez?
Yes?
My name is Dave Bronstein, the station manager. We spoke on the phone?
Yes.
She rises from her chair and shakes his hand.
I'll be interviewing you today. Can you come this way?
Yes.
They enter his office and sit.
Your mother, Marisol, told me you've worked in radio.
Yes, and up until last week I worked at Downtown Radio at WDDL Amsterdam, and before that 4 years at WQTN in Albany, doing news and features.
Do you have copies of your work and a resume?
Yes, on this flash drive, MP3s.
She hands the drive and her resume to him.
Thanks. All the files?
Yes.
I'll load it now. It'll just be a minute. What do you like about radio?
Oh, it's an old format, yet you can be as diverse and hip and informative and creative as some of the other media. Plus, I like being part of the movement to save a dying art form. What is your format?
We do mostly urban pieces and sparse music, mostly in our off hours. We broadcast 24/7, but play music during the overnight hours.
I understand.
Here you go. Here's your drive. Thank you.
The thing I did mostly in Albany was to cover crime scenes, man-on-the-street interviews, and the occasional politician, do the interview, write additional headings and closings, then edit and post.
Editing? Using what format?
Audacity mostly, some special effects formats.
And in Amsterdam?
Basically the same, except more political stuff and more of my own editing.
Why did you leave WDDL?
Oh, yes, the $64,000 question. Let's just say, well, it was a difference of opinion.
Between your manager and you?
Yes, she thought I should have worked the day after my mother passed away.
I'm so sorry. Marisol just said you might be available. She didn't tell me why. And I've been watching you for some time. Waiting for your availability to open up.
Marisol again. I should have called in a day before I did, but I was grieving and...
I understand. We are in hard cases here. We give people slack when they need it. After all, we are all human. Sounds like your old boss needs to learn that.
Thanks.
I see you have an economics degree from Cornell. We have a Wall Street beat you might be interested in our general news division. If we offered you the job, how long would it take you to be down here to work?
Probably within a week. Days.
Well, I will listen to these files and then get with the owner to decide if you are the candidate we need. It was good of you to come here on short notice, especially so soon after your mother's passing. My condolences.
Thank you. I hope you don't mean that for my career as well.
No. You are obviously talented, so we'll see. Thanks again.
She thanks him and walks out of the station, then to her car.
I'm sorry, Mom. I feel like I'm deserting you and everyone else just to please Marisol. But what can I do?
She gets into her car and drives to Marisol's brownstone. She rings the bell 3 times, then turns to go. Marisol sticks her head out of a second-floor window.
Hola, Mia. I was in the bathroom. I'll let you in. Hold on.
Derek awakens, dresses, and turns to his Bible.
What do you say to me today, God? She is gone, soon for good. What do you say to that? Let's see. 1 Corinthians 2, verses 14 and 15. The unspiritual man does not receive the gifts of the Spirit of God, for they are folly to him, and he is not able to understand them, because they are spiritually discerned. The spiritual man judges all things, but is himself to be judged by no man. But this doesn't mean I can condemn if I'm spiritual, right, God? It just means when I am spiritual, I am free to assess things accurately. Of course, that doesn't help me with my current situation, does it? Hello, Caroline.
Hello, baby brother. How goes it?
It's okay, I guess.
Why the hangdog tone?
Charity is in Brooklyn, interviewing for a job.
Really? Didn't see that coming.
I sort of knew about it, but didn't know what it meant.
She told you beforehand?
Last week, but now it seems so final.
Derek, stop it. Stop being mopey. Doesn't she have a job at the radio station?
She quit the other day.
What does that mean for you and her?
I don't know, really. Our relationship is changing.
I guess so. Into what? I hate to break it to you, but John and I are talking about separating.
Why? I thought you were happy.
So did we. It'd be for a short time until we cool off and get our heads together.
Wow, that's shocking.
Really, Derek. Everyone's been focusing on you. We just didn't notice all the changes catching up with us.
That makes me feel bad.
Don't. It is what it is. Mom's not improving. We may have to take her in. She'll be wanting to talk to you soon. I'll bring her up to speed so she doesn't ask redundant questions.
Thanks.
John's home. Do you want to talk with him?
Why would I want to talk with him?
Derek, be nice.
Why and no thanks. Where's Mom?
Later. I'll call you if she goes in. Meantime, try not to think about Charity. You never know what's going to happen, okay? She may not get the job here or there. She may get one and visit periodically enough for your taste. You don't want someone full-time, do you?
Yes, preferably.
Well, I don't know what to tell you. Just don't second-guess God by being unfaithful. If you believe him when he says he knows what you need, don't tie his hands by doubting his intent. Trust and obey.
Okay, thanks. Tell Ma to call.
Marisol lets Charity in, and they settle at the kitchen table.
Did you meet David?
Yes, Mom, but only for a minute. He seems nice.
So how did it go?
Like any interview, an exchange of information, then the vague, "Don't call us, we'll call you." Typical. Is that the best you could do, Marisol? You seem to have orchestrated it fine, to a point.
Now, dear heart, I orchestrated nothing. He is a friend of my dear beleaguered husband, and while I admit to supplying information about you to him,
For some time.
I guarantee nothing.
Why didn't you mention the fact that my mom had just passed away?
I think because I wanted him to call you without thinking he was taking advantage of you.
What? That's absurd.
Really? Any more absurd than you staying with that disabled boy of yours for so long?
How are the two equatable?
They're not. Listen, I did my best to plant seeds in David's head. Now you've done your part. It's up to God to help him decide.
Mom, hello.
I know you don't believe anymore. That is your choice. But if you want to call him chance or energy, that's fine. He is big enough to take it. As for me, I would say a few prayers for this job and even a few for you and Derek. Maybe it will help.
Derek and I may be calling it quits.
Tell me why.
I'm looking for work in other cities. I may not have time for him. He may not want a long-distance relationship.
He is woefully overmatched by you.
I can think of at least one marriage where the woman distinctly overmatches her spouse.
He does put up with me.
Derek is one of the most caring, kindest, most faith-filled men I know. At least he is lately. Unlike Bill, and as I recall, you once told me Bill was one of my kind. Care to revise that now?
Yes, obviously. But it seems you have decided already, so I'm off the hook.
May I remind you how you were once a very poor judge of character, speaking specifically about your first husband, and the only good thing to come out of that union was, evidently, me. So judge me if you will. Thanks, Mom. Now let's get me a job, right?
Right. First a job, then a boyfriend.
Mom, I'll see my way out.
Derek finds his way outside, carrying his sports drink and sandwich. On his way to the falls, he cuts through the park and sees a mean old woman sitting at a bench and feeding the birds. He approaches her.
Step lively, or you'll scare them away, like last time.
He tiptoes to the bench and sits.
How are you today?
Skittish, like the birds.
I wanted to apologize for being so rude and offensive last time we saw each other. I had no right to...
Force your beliefs on me? Yes, you are right.
I am sorry, and can you forgive me?
Of course. Already forgiven.
They sit for a minute.
You can go now if you want.
I was headed for the falls.
Oh, the falls are lovely.
Yes, but I think I'll talk to you a minute.
Oh, but the falls.
That's okay. They aren't going anywhere.
You can do as you like, but tell me, what is it that you want from me? Huh? I'm just a simple old woman living out her last days, doing not much of anything, lamenting her past and fearing for her future. What could you possibly want from one such as me?
My girlfriend is moving away from me.
So you want me to be your girlfriend?
No. I'm feeling a friend lapse. A hole. And I'm wishing to fill it with you to start with.
A friend? You want to be friends?
What?
You see how life turns around? I have only met you twice, and once was enough.
What does that mean?
Sure, I'll be your friend, but you must understand, I rule the roost here on this bench. This is my world, and I control it. My way. Am I scaring you yet?
No, not really.
Oh, well, of course, there'll be ground rules, quid pro quos, and such.
Of course.
Well, all right then.
They sit and stare at the birds.
You forgot the first step. Sandra. The name is Sandra.
Derek, nice to meet you.
Charity and Marisol wind up their visit.
I'm sorry for forcing the issue with Dave so soon after Mildred's passing.
There you go. You do have a heart.
I guess I wanted to jumpstart your healing, but that can't be hurried, can it?
No, decidedly. But thanks for trying.
How about a coffee for the road?
Sure. Fill my mug?
When do you expect Dave to get back to you?
Whenever he confers with his boss. Should be soon, I imagine. Thanks for the coffee.
You're welcome. Hug and a kiss?
Marisol walks Charity to her car.
Be safe, okay?
Okay. Bye.
Derek finds his way to St. Joseph's Church, hoping to catch a quick conversation with Father Nelson. The church secretary shows him in. Father Nelson is packing some items into a duffel bag.
Good morning, Father Nelson. How are you?
Well, Derek, regardless of my personal situation, it is a decidedly beautiful day so far.
Is everything okay?
Derek, I'm going to be taking some time off, starting soon.
Oh.
But you needn't fret. I hope to be back on the job refreshed within a short period of time.
I don't understand. Did you do something wrong?
I'm not permitted to speak about it, but yes, it is a disciplinary matter and it must be allowed to run its course.
Where will you go?
I have family in Montana I haven't seen in years. Perhaps a trip up there would be in order. But try not to worry. There will be someone serving in my place, temporarily, for you to ask questions of. Besides, you have a real walk with God all on your own. You are in good hands.
Do you know the name of the father who will fill in for you?
No, not yet. But check back in a couple of days. Mrs. Jordan should be able to tell you.
Nothing is more constant than change.
Yes, well said.
And you will be leaving when?
Tomorrow, I'm afraid. Derek, you are a good student. Study the scriptures. They will help you to see your path ahead of you. And no matter what, trust those who are trustworthy. They will guide you into all truth. I will say prayers for you and for me.
Yes, Father, thanks. Anything will help.
They shake hands and Derek leaves. Derek makes it to the falls, and when no one is looking, speaks to God.
God, listen, please. I don't know what is going on with Father Nelson, what he did or didn't do. I don't know. But could you be with him through it all? He has helped me a great deal. So look after him, would you?
He pulls a Bible from his book bag and turns to...
Where is that? Yes, Micah 7, verses 8 and 9. Rejoice not over me, my enemy. When I fall, I will arise. The Lord will be a light to me. I will bear the indignation of the Lord, for I have sinned against him, until he pleads my cause and executes judgment for me. Be with him and vindicate him. Be with Charity too. I may not like her choices, but I care about her and want her to be happy, regardless. Hi, Caroline.
Hi, son. How are you?
Good, Mom. Does this mean you are better?
Oh, far from it. I think whatever it was is settled in my lungs. I'm going to the ER in a few minutes, and Caroline will update you as needed.
Mom, that's terrible.
Yes, especially at my age. I just hope it doesn't turn into pneumonia. Remember '09? Not pleasant.
Yes, Mom.
While I have breath, tell me about Charity.
Oh, she went to Brooklyn today for a job interview. She's been looking for work in other cities for weeks. Makes me feel real terrible, like a betrayal.
Did she try?
Mom?
I won't talk too long. Did she tell you she was doing it?
She tried, but not very well.
So it was a shock.
Yes.
You can't fault her too much, son, for her methods, but maybe for her intent.
In any case, she is gone today, and I'm going to have to get used to maybe forever.
What is that? Hyperbole? Listen, you have to get used to getting better on your own. For you, Charity, or for whomever chooses to be your mate. Because it is not a question of if. It is a question of when. Got me?
Yes, Mom.
Are you two getting along?
Yes.
Well, that's all you can hope for. Now, go and get started on yourself, son. And I will be in touch, and know I love you dearly.
Me too. Love you.
Thanks, son.
Mom, what about Caroline and John?
Oh, yes. Sad, isn't it? But I saw it coming. The indifference, the disregard.
Why didn't you tell me earlier?
I try not to tell you anything until the last minute. You have enough on your plate as it is.
I wish you wouldn't try to protect me like that.
But son, we mean well.
I guess so. Listen, keep me informed about everything, please.
We will. Love ya.
They hang up and Derek stews.
God, can I ask you to be with her and heal her? I know, I just did, but please? Too much change.
Derek goes home and prepares and eats an early dinner. He cleans up, lays on the couch, and falls asleep.
Son! Son!
Yes, Mom.
Where have you been? I've been calling you.
I'm sorry, I've been pulling up the marigolds.
No, not my prize-winning marigolds. That is awfully naughty of you. Who told you to do that? Was it that imaginary friend of yours again?
Yes, Mom.
We'll have to pull that friend of yours up by the roots and see if he likes it.
No, Mom. He's my only friend. My best friend.
Well then, let's call him out. See what he's made of.
He's very shy.
Not shy about destroying my marigolds.
I'm sorry, Ma. Let me fix it. A little dirt here, a little dirt there. Perfect.
You are a good son, aren't you?
Charity drives up Interstate 87 and reaches Hudson before she calls Derek. She wakes him up.
Hello?
Hi, stranger. How are you?
I'd be better if you were here.
Oh, that's so sweet. I'm about 45 minutes away, and don't worry, I'm using my hands-free device, but it has been acting up lately.
How did you do today with your new job?
Potential job. I don't know yet. As soon as the manager reviews my work with the owner.
They'd be crazy not to hire you.
Oh, thank you. You really are full of compliments today. What gives?
Nothing. Just thinking fondly of you all day.
Well, I'm coming home now, and we can spend tomorrow all day talking about how we miss each other. Because I do, you know.
Thanks. Can I tell you something?
As long as it's more compliments.
My mom is sick. Maybe pneumonia.
Oh, really?
Last time she had it, she almost passed. It's very frightening to my whole family.
Yes, I imagine. Is she in the hospital yet?
No, but by tomorrow she may be.
How about I take you to see her?
Thank you, that would be nice.
Moms are important.
How is Marisol?
Oh, she is well. Seems she is a little manipulator. She didn't even tell Dave, the station manager, that I had buried Mildred just a couple days before. Can you believe that?
I can believe just about anything. I wonder if she approved of me being disabled and all.
Will it hurt your feelings if I told you the truth?
Charity, you know me.
Then, no. She didn't understand why we would be together.
Why would we be?
Derek, I was with you because I sensed in you a certain kindness and spirituality that I wanted around me. And despite your faults, I still cling to that attraction as something blessed in my life, which I'm fearful of giving up, lest I go without.
I see. Sort of the way your grace impressed me and your depth of commitment to the truth. So why are we giving each other up?
Good question.
Caroline and John are separating, a trial separation.
I never met him. Are they both Catholic?
Yes.
What will they do? Last time I checked, divorce is illegal in your church.
It's not illegal, just forbidden. I hope they will get counseling as a way to preserve their union.
Is that why you are having such a hard time with our change?
We were never married, but yes, I feel strongly now that God brings people together, and it is incumbent upon each person to work out any conflicts and stay together, to honor that first spark that brought them both together.
I see. Well, what happened with your sister and her husband?
I don't know. I just heard about it today. They must have been fighting for... I don't know. I just never heard anything about any trouble.
Sometimes that's just the way it is.
On top of that, Father Nelson was packing his bag when I went to see him today.
Why?
He said he was being disciplined for something. Wouldn't say what.
Could it be sexual misconduct?
No.
Come on, it's all over the news. Don't you think the system breeds that behavior? You know, celibacy?
Absolutely not. The few who offend color the view for all the countless rest of the good-hearted, dedicated, respectful, devoted priests and lay people. The offenses are tragic and should be dealt with judiciously, healing the victims. But the system of training devotion into men of the clergy by celibacy and chastity is a success story for millions.
Oh, okay. I sure hope he didn't do that, for everyone's sake. I know you like him.
He is like my spiritual father. He's helped me out a great deal. I'm not dealing with it well.
Don't they have a replacement? All they will do is plug another priest in where he leaves, right? Cookie cutter.
Sometimes your cynicism astounds even me.
What?
Most of the clergy I have met are all devoted and kind and spiritual. They shouldn't be judged by the few bad apples.
Bad apples? I agree it is the few that do such maximum damage. It just leaves a bad example for the rest.
Yeah, I think the church is finally dealing with it proactively by punishing the guilty and paying reparations.
You think that is enough? How about preemptive counseling for priests and a program for children in the service of the clergy to teach them how to avoid dangerous men and situations?
I'm just a worshiper. I wouldn't know if they have such programs or not.
Make it a point, Derek. It's important.
Right.
You need to be better informed about everything.
Tell me about it.
So, Derek, did you make mac and cheese again, or was it cereal?
Funny, huh? Actually, it was...
Oh, hang on. It's Dave from the station on the other line. Hold on, Derek. Yes?
Charity, this is Dave Bronstein, the station manager calling.
Yes, go ahead.
I talked with Mr. Morton, the owner, after you left today. We looked over your material and called some references, and we would like to offer you the position of special features reporter.
Charity nearly drives off the road.
How does that sound?
That sounds terrific. You don't even know.
Are you still in town?
No, I'm almost up to Albany.
Oh, I see. Well, when can you start your training?
I hate to put you off.
So don't.
No. If I could have till next week, I could take care of some loose ends here and be ready then.
Well, fine. But can I email you some information about our company, our structure, and guiding principles? I think you will find them helpful.
Certainly. To my email address on my resume.
Great. I look forward to seeing you next week.
Thank you. Me too.
They hang up.
Yes. Oh, no. Derek? Derek?
Derek waits, then hears.
Derek? Derek?
Charity? What is going on?
He hangs up and calls her back.
Yes, Derek. What happened? Did you hang up?
No, your phone malfunctioned.
It's been doing that. Got to get that looked at. That was Dave.
I know, remember? What did he say?
He offered me a job, special features reporter.
Oh, great. Congratulations.
I'm sorry, Derek. I guess there isn't much to say.
This is what you wanted. Did you take the job?
Yes, but
But what?
that doesn't mean I have to take it necessarily.
But you want to, right?
Of course. It's always good to work.
Yes, of course. But at least you'll be in state.
Right. And we can always work on our friendship that way. When was the last time you went down to the city?
2 years ago.
Oh, well, so you know how easy it is just to hop down there and see me.
That is if you take the job.
Derek, I'm taking the job.
Definitely?
Definitely.
Okay.
I have till next week to report, so we will have the entire weekend to...
Say our goodbyes?
It's not goodbye if I'm going to see you regularly.
Not physically, emotionally.
We'll be as close as we want to be.
Sure.
Don't doubt me, Derek, or God. What's meant to be will be, no matter your effort.
I won't doubt.
Hang on, Derek.
Charity sees a car ahead of her that is drifting in and out of her lane. She slows down to observe.
Derek, I've got a car ahead of me. Hold on.
Do you want me to hang up?
No, hold on. I'm gonna pass him.
Careful.
She revs her car, gets into the passing lane, and attempts to go around it.
Hello? Hello? What are you doing?
Charity! Charity!
Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Any Good Thing. Please tune in again. The cast for tonight's episode includes John Salerno as Derek Hughes, Jessica O'Connell as Charity Rodriguez, Laura Lee Whitlock as Caroline Peterson, Cheryl Charbonneau as Miriam Hughes, Phil Sheehan as Father Nelson, Dorothy Domkowski as Sandra, John Carey as Dave Bronstein, Kathy Ozick as Marisol Pollock, and Homer Charbonneau as the narrator.